it's that time of the week again and time for another Wardy's Waffle. I just wanted to show you a machine that we've just bought this last week. This is a mole drainer, or mole plough as they're called. I don't know why they're called a mole plough, but I'll show you a bit more about this in the next week's episode. But what we do here, we have two big legs on the back, vertical legs go on there. They're in the workshop, I'll show you those in a second. And this is to help with the drainage. We go across all the drains, and these legs go deep down in the ground and put little mould channels through. So I've just bought that this last week, and we've got a lot of remedial cultivation work to do, a lot of drainage work to do as such with that, because you've seen how much water we've got on the fields we've had over the winter, and that hopefully will help us a lot. But in the workshop here, we've got these two legs that were on the back of that. Anyway, these are the legs, so we'll go into a bit more detail about these. These go through the ground here. You can see the point on it, quite a deep. We go through the drains, probably not through the drains, through the gravel, probably about 2 feet deep. This will be maybe not quite 20 inches deep. We'll see how deep the drains are. Then these expanders go behind it, they pull behind it and create a channel, if you like, there. They create a channel through the ground that the water can grow through. But I'll explain more about that in the next update in midweek or next Sunday. Anyway, this update, we've got quite a lot of footage from the baked beans. Really pleased that we've got all the Capulet beans in. We've increased the area from 13 acres last year to 154 we've had this year. So really pleased that we got all those in. And we've also had the Amazon Precision sugar beet drill put some seed in as well on some wide rows. We'll look at that running. We'll look at our Simba free flow drill running as well. And the problem we had was that we wanted to go on wide rows, but we couldn't with the drill, with our Simba drill. But you'll hear about that why in this update. But anyway, this whole update, little bit about sugar beet as well, but the whole update mainly is how we've established our Capulet beans that will turn into baked beans. So thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you at the end. Oh yeah, just one more thing I forgot to mention was about the cereals event. This year it's in Hertfordshire. This is the location and address of where it's at. And some of you might have already got tickets or be going. Some of you might have complimentary tickets, but if you haven't got those and you'd like to go, please use this code here for a 50% reduction on your ticket prices. There is around about 420 exhibitors. There's 600 crop plots. There are 200 working demonstrations, and there's 2 stage areas where I think there's one going to be talking about the SFI options, so the sustainable farming incentive options, those non-farmers who are looking at this, and also the other stage is looking at the seed to shelf process, which will be fascinating. So Direct Driller involved in that as well. So that's the Direct Driller magazine. So don't forget, this is the link if you want to get 50% off your ticket prices. Please use that. It'll be a great day. I'll be there, so we'll say hello and have a catch up as well if you're all going. So that's it for now. So thanks ever so much for watching, and we'll see you at the end. So it's a race against time today because we've got a lot of rain forecast tonight, tomorrow, so that's Wednesday and Thursday. So we're trying to get all these beans drilled, and we've got the Amazon drill working just here. I'm putting the black oats on with the Kuhn pneumatic spreader, broadcasting them on top on this field, and we're doing that so that our Simba drill will work them in. Whereas the drill here, this precision drill, the oats are in the front hopper, so it's actually putting the black oats at the side, just at the side of the row where it's planting the beans. So we'll have a quick look at it. We've had to alter things because the seed rate wasn't right, but I'll explain that in a minute. You can see it is very cloddy for a precision drill, precision planter, call it what you like, whichever country you're looking at this in. Everybody calls machines differently. But that front disc there is the one that's putting the oats in, just at the side of the row where the beans are going. The beans are in the hoppers here with the orange lids. He's actually putting it in well. It has crumbled from when we've worked it and it's dried. And that here, now I'll just see if I can find these beans, this Capulet beans. There we go, there's one. there, just into moisture, but it certainly will be when we get all this rain tonight. There's another one. And if we open them up, there's another there. So now you can see that lump there, how it's all breaking because it was dried out like last week. Then we had that 18-19 millimeters of rain while I was in Italy, and you can just see how that's all crumbling now. Look at that, how it's just falling apart. Very dry in the middle, but this is what our clay soils do. You see when you do that, a lot finer on top. So get the rain on here and it'll be fine. So just to explain what we're doing, the seed rate we want on here was about 240 kilograms a hectare. But the problem we've got is that these precision planters, seeders, drills, whatever you call them, they can't put that volume of seed on. This one can't anyway. If we'd gone to something like a Vardastat Tempo, another one, we could probably. But Agri do a lot of work with Amazon. And this is Agri, the company we do, we hold all our trials with, and we do a lot of development work with them as well. And so we're using this machine, but to get that seed rate on, the seed in the row would have to be about 4 centimeters wide or apart. The rows themselves are 50 centimeters wide. So 4 centimeters, and then the tractor would have to run at 2 kilometers an hour, which obviously is just so slow it's not feasible. So we've actually, I think we've tried some at 4 centimeter row spacing to see what the yield like, but most of this field we're doing at 7 centimeter seed spacing, which I'm not quite sure what that will work out in kilos a hectare, probably about 150. So that's what we're doing today, try and get these Capulet beans in. Really important trial, because we've got the only seed there is in the country, apart from a few little areas that Warwick University are growing. You can see some track eradicators there at the front, taking the tyres out. It is actually really cutting this seed in really well. I've got in the field and I've done the outsides, and I'm now just doing an AB line down the middle of the field, because this tractor, this fast track's got a system on where it's got this easy steer Trimble system that links to the steering wheel. So I've done an A at one end of the field. You can see now B is highlighted, so I'm just about to press B now down here, and that will bang a straight line right down the field, and there we are, there's the red line put in. So all these lines will be spaced the right distance now right across the field, 20 metres apart, which is the width of the spreader. So just typical when you want GPS and everything to go right, because the weather coming, it's not. And I've got lines and everything, so I've got a map, but I haven't got the steering motor isn't talking to the screen, so I'm having to steer manually. So I've got the line, so I'm trying to keep that arrow on the line, and the green lights at the top tell me whether I'm right or not. So red lights mean I want to be nearer that way, and when I stick to green, I'm not normally, if I keep the green lights on, it's alright, but doing it manually isn't really ideal. But we've got the pneumatic spreader on, as you saw me calibrate it, and I've got the deflectors turned up, so it's actually, if I do drive a little bit wide on each end, it'll still spread it out hopefully, which I'll show you when we stop. So just looking at the spreader, when I mentioned a minute ago about the deflectors, these are the deflectors where the seed comes out, or fertiliser, and you just unclip them. There's little clips there. They'd normally be that way round. So there's air coming down here, you'll hear the fan in a minute, and it's blowing the seed here against there and spreading it down. But it restricts the width a little bit. Obviously you need your GPS working for that. So what I've done, I've just turned these round like that, take them off, put it underneath, and you can see here, so it's blowing it, and then it blows the seed out like that and down, and it allows it to spread out a bit wider. So if I'm not quite driving right, this will hopefully compensate for it. So all these have got air blowing along. There's 16 on the whole machine, so you can shut it off sectionally. So 4 there is on one switch, and then these 4 to the middle are on another switch. You can hear the fan, there, but it would be louder than that when I get revving up. And these are on another switch, 4 and then 4 there on another switch. And I'll just climb up and show you the seed. It is nearly empty actually. So this is it. There's 2 sides to the hopper. That side has just run out. There's a little bit left in this side, you can see down there. So that's this whole field done, 67 acres. We're now going to come in here with our Simba drill and put the Capulet beans in. Just got in the cab. I'll just rev it up. You can hear how loud it is when the fan gets going. So the Amazon drill has done the bulk of this field, apart from the headlands. Oliver from Amazon had to go, so Tom's just finishing off the headlands here with ours. And this is with the Capulet beans. Doing a good job burying them all. So he's just got twice more, 2 more breeds on 2 sides, and that's this field finished. So we've just got 1 more field to do, 45-acre field, but I don't know whether we're going to get it done or not, because it's also a lot of rain by 10, 11 o'clock tonight, and that's about, we'll need till 11 o'clock to get it done. See what a good job this drill does when the conditions are right for it. 8 metres wide. So this is the first field that the Amazon precision seeder, planter, whatever you like to call them, this is what it did. Ruben's just rolled it. You can just see, made a good job there. Need it rolling because these beans will grow fairly close to the floor, and at harvest we need to be able to scrape to the floor to pick them up. Those of you who've been watching this channel for a while will see us harvesting last summer. This is the update for those new viewers who haven't seen us harvesting these Capulet beans or these Beet beans. This is the number to look for. There's Ruben just starting to roll the second field. It'll be about probably 3 or 4 hour job rolling this, 67 acres. Rain will do this good, but we don't want 40 millimetres, it's forecast. And then this is what it's like before it's rolled. It's gone in really well, this has. 2 weeks ago when it was hadn't touched it and there's all the volunteers and all the rubbish sat up dying, he thought, okay, how on earth are we going to get a seed bed, get it work for beans? But we have. Thank you very much to Maschio for the power harrow, because that certainly had a big influence, and also Jeffrey Wax with the guttler, and also Simon Weaving with the energizer. All those have been in here. Tom's just started the last field, so I'm just getting the seed ready. But we are going to need to, it's going to need to keep fine till at least midnight to get it done. So got 1 bag of Capulet beans here, of the Beet beans, to put in the hoppers, and then I'll take them down to Tom, and then we'll see how we can get on, whether we get it done or not. But I don't know, it's doubtful when you look at the forecast. These are good strong bags, these ones are, because they've got a nice sleeve. You can see where the forks go in. They haven't got loops on either corner, they've got a big sleeve there. They're really strong, they're very good. Much better than, say, those bags there. That's wheat seed in there, winter wheat seed left from last autumn, which we'll be using this year. So I'm just going to lift this over into the hopper. There's 1 hopper full. That's about 1.5 tons, a bit more than 1.5 tons, so that's what they'll be. There's 0.5 ton in this hopper, and this bag weighs just about 1 ton. And that will hopefully get the field finished with what Tom's got in the drill. These ones are just about pea size, that's all. They're like a sort of a normal pea. But I'll get some beans and show you. But when you have them in a tin and put these in a tin, they actually marinate them in water first, and they swell up to probably twice the size. So even though these don't look very big now, they would become the normal size beans that you'd have in a tin of Heinz or Branston baked beans or whatever. So I'm just weighing this one and the other hopper just to see how much is in it and what we've got left. So there's 1,960 kilograms, so that's 1.96 tons, but the hopper weighs 200 kilograms or 0.2. So actually beans in there, we've got 1.76 tons. We keep getting some block coulters, block pipes, and then of course you get a gap in the row when it germinates and comes through the ground, and it's a bit of pods and a bit of muck. Beans aren't very good, but these aren't very big either, so I'm surprised it is blocking. Just need it fine for another 2.5 hours probably. It's asking a lot, I know, with the forecast that we've got. Ruben's just taking this other people carrier back to Bailey's at Sleaford, and then that's the people carrier we share with Bailey's and also Agri. We're keeping that now and we're keeping it in the shed, and we've got 2 open days. We've got our Agri open day on the 5th of June. You're all welcome to that, and then we've got another open evening that next evening for women in agriculture who are coming, so that should be good as well. So 2 days, 5th, 6th of June. I'm just in our sugar beet field at the Heath. This is the field where we had our strip till trials, and we've also got a lot of herbicide trials here. You can see these yellow pegs, but I just wanted to show you, if I can still find him, yes I can. I just wanted to show you a lovely insect we've got here. It's a ladybird I've just spotted down here. Now this sugar beet seed was neonic treated seed, and they say that it damages insects. Well, I've got a ladybird here that is eating away at insects that we want him to eat away, so I'll just show you what those are. Typical. I've just taken the phone call, and as often what we do when we're on the phone, you have a wander about, and I've gone and forgotten the spot where I was with that ladybird. But anyway, what my point was, that the sugar beet seed has been treated with neonicotinoid seed treatment that has been banned on flowering crops such as oilseed rape. But we've been allowed it under special circumstances. We have to have a license and have the special application to do it. Depends on the frost. If it's a mild winter, we can apply, or British Sugar can apply to DEFRA, and then they look at the weather stations that's part of the model, and it depends on the temperatures and things as whether we can get it or not. Anyway, because the winter was really mild this year, we were allowed to use it, but on a reduced active ingredient level, so it gives about probably 8 weeks protection from the date of drilling to virus yellows. And virus yellows is a disease that's carried by aphids, by green fly into the crop, and it absolutely decimates the crop. But the neonicotinoid seed treatment actually means that it gives you 8 weeks protection, and you don't need to apply an insecticide to control the aphids until that has run out. The sugar beet plant there will have a seed coating in it. This will be running out now, but it'll have an insecticide in that plant, so that plant's protected. There's an insect crawling around there, look, a beetle. Now if we were to come along with insecticide and spray this field for aphids to control the virus, if we didn't have this seed treatment, that poor little devil there would be killed. Without the seed treatment, we'd overall spray the whole field, such as Ruben's doing there now. Ruben's spraying some barley just across there. So Ruben's spraying that barley. Look at the mist coming out. That's water, 95% water there, and the rest of it's chemical. But all over this soil surface, anything crawling would be dead. Whereas with the seed treatment, it's only controlling that plant itself. Anything here, as you've just seen, is not harmed, which is what we want. I think that just needs highlighting a bit. We've got some trials here, some herbicide trials, and this just shows the difference in herbicide, how it interacts with the sugar beet. And all herbicides knock the sugar beet to a degree. Now you can see there, that is obviously an untreated area. But look how much bigger the sugar beet is. If you look at the size of those sugar beet plants, there's my hand, but just look at the volume of weeds in it. So that's what would happen if we don't spray for weeds in this sugar beet crop. So it just shows you the value of plant protection products when you look at a plot like that. But also, it does just highlight the sugar beet plants, how much it does knock them back a bit. Tom's just brought the 155 back that we hired. I just got it washed this morning. It's only right to return things back in the condition you find it in. A lot of tractors here, as always. It's Saturday afternoon. I'm about to go back to the house and watch the FA Cup final. I always enjoy a good football game. And I'm just in one of the fields that we drilled with the Capulet beans that you saw earlier on this clip. We could do with this field being rolled, but it's because we had that rain. Literally, we drilled this field. This is the last field we planted with those Capulet beans, and Tom was doing it about midnight, and it had been raining for about an hour when we finished them, so we're really lucky to finish them. And but I'll just show you these, and also the field next door just behind me is a field of sugar beet on a heavier ground. Just looking down here, you can just see how well they went in, and if I can just find, it's very moist, the soil is underneath here. If I can find it, we put them in quite deep on purpose. See if I can find any seed. There we go, there's one. No, it hasn't chitted yet. Another one there, plenty of moisture around them. You can see there, won't be long. Oh, that one's just starting to break. You can just see there, it's just splitting. So 2 or 3 days. Actually, there's a little shoot on there. Can you just see that little shoot just coming out? So that's great. Let's pop that back in. Just walking over to the sugar beet field, I'll just explain about these beans. I was hoping with our Simba drill to block some rows off and have wider rows on here, but a lot of things didn't happen right on the morning that we were going drilling. We unfolded the drill and an oil pipe burst and put oil all in the seed pipes and in the seed box, and calibrating it was always going to be challenging. So we decided last minute, so we could get finished because the rain was coming, we decided to drill in conventional rows, which are 12.5 centimetres wide, so 5 inches wide. Just walking across the lane now into sugar beet field we've got here. What I wanted to just show you here was the weeds and the problem and the wet that we've got a wet patch there. Is if you look here, there's some really large, what we call fat hen. That's a type of weed there. I'll just pull that out. This has not had, look at that, this has not had a herbicide yet. We're desperate to get on with something, but you can just see the dark patches here. That is wet, and if we came on with a sprayer here at the minute, we'd make a right mess. And I just hate making a mess. They're there forever. But just look at the broadleaf weeds. You can see here, fat hen. But they are quite soft and lush growing. But as you've seen in the clip a few minutes ago, how herbicides do actually hit the crop and knock it back. But if you look here, it's really wet just here, and that just happens to be where the sprayer will run, and it will make a mess. You can just see how dark it is here, so it will make a mess. We just need to leave this to soak a day or two. Hopefully we've got rain coming. But this is the problem with HEATHLAND late drilled sugar beet. This wasn't planted only about 3 weeks ago, because we just couldn't get on it any sooner. But the sugar beet, you can just see, if I can just show you the sugar beet, there we've got a sugar beet plant. That's looking well. Just see more fat hen there. So that's the sugar beet plant, and that's fat hen. Dark patches there, which show the soil's wetter than other areas, and where Nala is just through there. I'm just watching the FA Cup final on television and just seen the geese. Look how they've grown, the goslings. They're hardly goslings anymore, they're nearly half grown. But we've lost one in the last 2 or 3 nights. There was 7, there's only 6 now. So whether a fox has had one or something, but and the other young ones that were a lot younger by a few weeks, there were 5 of them, they've all disappeared, so I think we have got a fox coming around. And Nala is laid here quietly enjoying it. And the FA Cup final has just been won by Man United. Well deserved as well. Commentary team of Guy Mowbray, backed up by Alan Shearer, just superb. So that's the end of this Sunday update. Hope you've enjoyed a detailed look at the Capulet beans and how we've established them. I'll keep you updated on the progress of those throughout the growing season until we harvest them, which will be probably mid to late September. But very interesting crop, and I'm really proud to be involved in the development of it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you midweek.